Hi guys, welcome to my 2 cents, where I give you my opinion on 2 cents. So the 2 cents I'm going to talk to you about today are Head Over Heels by Revlon, Eau de Parfum, and Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. Two very different fragrances. Head Over Heels was released by Revlon in the 90s, I think it was 1994, and Scandal was released in 2017 by Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, let's open them and have a talk. Why do I want to talk about these 2 cents and give you my opinion? Well, you're going to see. I'll tell you, I've got a lot to talk about. This is a 115.32 ml, 3.9 flow ounce perfume. And it's got 90s vibe all over it. Woo! I remember the 90s. I was a teenager. And I was about 14 when this came out. I have a sister who's 16 years older than me. And, you know, it kind of reminds me of rummaging around in her cosmetic bag. Even my mother's cosmetic bag. That real cosmetic lipsticky smell with the crushed eyeshadows at the bottom flaking around. So this is a very floral, powdery fragrance, and honestly, it just has that 90s Revlon kind of perfume vibe. You can get this somewhere online for about £5 or £10. But have a look at the design and we will discuss. So you have a lady who's upside down, very scandalous, right? Hint, hint. And a kind of pink acrylic legs, with her shoes up in the air, looking very, So let's open Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal and let's have a little discussion. Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. Ready, guys? Lovely presentation. Classic Jean Paul Gaultier can. And it reveals... I mean, really, Jean Paul Gaultier, this is scandalous. Scandal is a cypher floral. It has got lashings of honey. It's got white, I think, citrusy white florals and a definite bed of patchouli. It has got a base of patchouli, but it has got lashings and lashings of sexy honey. And I could wear this all day. It lasts and lasts and lasts. It's an absolutely fantastic designer fragrance, and I would say there is no competition in terms of quality of fragrance. Jean Paul wins over Head Over Heels by Revlon. But what's going on here? What's going on here? Who was inspired by who? I mean, this was released in 1994. This was released in 2017. And I think in the perfume design world, this is scandalous. Is that why he named it Scandal? Is that why Jean Paul Gaultier named his perfume Scandal? I mean, I don't know. But there's more to the story. There's more to my thoughts on these two fragrances. And I'm going to share that with you. Crazy, right? As I place these fragrances down, I want to tell you that when I first saw these two fragrances and the whole scandal about, oh my god, who's copying who, and you know, like what's going on with Jean Paul Gaultier, did he get permission from Revlon to kind of like update their design of Head Over Heels, or did he scandalously rip them off? I just don't know. But more to that, the first person I thought about when I saw these two fragrances was a woman called Christine Keeler. Christine Keeler was a 19-year-old up-and-coming model, or wannabe model, stroke, allegedly, escort to the social elite crowd. And I've got some notes, and I'm going to share with you some information that I found out about Christine Keeler, because Christine Keeler was part of one of the biggest scandals in political history in modern times. Okay, so let me give you the tea. In the 60s, there was a huge scandal in politics. In 1963, it emerged that the Secretary of State for War in Great Britain, whose name was John Profumo, was having an affair with Christine Keeler. Now, this guy was like some middle-aged guy. He was married and everything, right? And Christine Keeler was this 19-year-old wannabe model hanging around with all these political men and allegedly the royal family, some members of the royal family, and, you know, having affairs and being treated rather well financially. Anyway, at the same time that Christine Keeler was having an affair with John Profumo, she was also the mistress of a Soviet spy. So do you know what happened after that? The Prime Minister of England at the time, whose name was Harold Macmillan, lost all his kind of like self-confidence. It severely damaged it, and it just damaged his reputation, and he had to resign. So the following year in 1964, his government, the Conservative Party, lost out to the Labour Party, and it is being said that it was because of the Profumo affair. That's the name of it. Because of Christine Keeler. Now, poor Christine Keeler at the time, this young girl who is being kind of carted around to all these men, found her fame in the tabloids and interviews, and they were going to do this big movie about her. But one of the most amazing things that happened with Christine Keeler was this photograph. Now, this photograph was taken by a photographer, I think it was an Australian photographer called Lewis Morley, and it's a modern iconic photograph. I think it's available in the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. I'm not sure if it's been moved somewhere else, but that's how I remember Christine Keeler. Okay, so the facts were, Christine Keeler had like a troubled upbringing, and as she grew up and she started to get into the modelling world, or the allegedly escort world, she became friends with this guy called Stephen Ward, who was an osteopath to the social elite. And he brought her into that world, and then that's how she got to meet all these huge political figures. And, you know, she ended up having affairs with them. I mean, in 2019, as a woman, when I think about Christine Keeler, I think, wow, I mean, it's just such a sad story, really, because she never recovered from it. All the tabloids, they just kind of swarmed on her all her life. They always wanted to find out where she was, what she was doing. And I think in the last years of her life, she ended up looking like a bag lady. She died in 2017 after health complications. And I don't know, to me, it's just a sad story, really. And how all these people in power, especially these men in power, can use these young women and just get away with it, really, just from resigning and living off their pension. So when I looked at these fragrances, I just remembered Christine Keeler, this famous photograph where she's sitting on this retro chair with her legs out, and it's just the whole, and it just reminds me of that time where she was just scattered all over the news, and it was a huge scandal. So I don't know, so many things happened because of this. You know, the Prime Minister, he quit, the government got taken over, and lives were destroyed. All from looking at these two fragrances. I remember a time in history. But what do you think about when you see these? Do you think of plagiarism? Do you think that maybe Jean Paul Gaultier got permission from Revlon, and it's just like, you know what they say, imitation is the best form of flattery? I mean, I gave my 2 cents. What are yours? Until the next episode, so